Big 12 today here on Big 12 Radio. You are listening to us exclusively on TuneIn, your home for the Big 12 Conference, your official one-stop shop. Also streaming live on your screen on Big 12 Studios with Ari Timken. I'm James Westling. And when you talk to Arizona State football coach Kenny Dillingham, you don't just have a conversation. You try and keep up with Coach. How's it going?
I'm great. How are you all doing?
Man, we're excited to have you on. Thank you for your time. We appreciate it. Want to ask you about your name's coming up for coaching vacancies, but Rivals is reporting that, you've talked to your players about the process. How do you handle that with, the guys in your locker room? Because you're a very transparent, this is how it is type program. So tell us about the conversations and the relationships that you've continued to build with your players.
Yeah, I've made it very clear that this was my dream job when I took this job. And, I've made it very, very clear that my sister's my neighbor. My parents live 3 doors down. My 3.5-year-old hangs out with his cousins every day and my wife's grandparents. At the end of the day, you can't control what people are going to write, what people are going to say. I know the people in this building I've communicated with, and, I know those people can trust me for my word.
Yeah, it's funny. I always laugh when I see some of these rumors, and it's like, do they not know that he's from there and went to school there and your wife went to school there? Like, I don't know. It seems to make the most sense for you to stay at Arizona State despite maybe, I don't know, what might have motivated coaches 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, every coach wants the ability to win championships. I think that's at the bottom line. That's what every coach, every competitor, if you're a coach and you're playing and you're trying not to win championships, something is wrong, right? What are you doing? You're just out there in exhibition, practicing to practice. So I think for me, everything comes down to, man, can you be at a place where you're happy, where your family's happy, and also compete for championships? And that's always the goal. And we did that last year. We're still in the hunt this year for that same thing. And so we're just trying to get this place to be the best version of itself.
Man, you guys have had just so much bad luck with injuries this year. Your quarterback Sam Levitt's out for the year. Have you and him had conversations about what next year might look like? I think going into the season, everybody's thinking if he has another really good year, he's going to the NFL. What can you tell us about just those conversations you and Sam have had?
Yeah, I'm not going to get too much into that stuff. I've always want what's best for my players and what their dreams, goals, and aspirations are. I'm already getting to live out my dream. I'm lucky. I'm one of the few that get to do that. My job as the head coach is to help our players live out theirs. And so when guys ask me for advice, when guys ask me, what's next, I'm always going to give them advice not based off being the head coach at Arizona State, advice based off of somebody who wants to see you achieve your dreams, goals, and aspirations just like I get to live out. So a little bit different probably than most. We don't recruit our own players to stay here. That's not our deal. I'm not going to talk a kid out of going pro if I think it's best for them. I want to see them do it. I want these guys to absolutely get to live out their dream.
If I would have told you before the season that you'd be coaching the majority of the year without Sam Levitt, Jordan Tyson, and Xavier Alford, what would you guess your record would be to this point?
Oh, I don't know. If it's and buts were candy and nuts, there's some saying that goes after that. So I couldn't tell you what that would be. I love the way our guys are competing. I think it shows a lot about, the culture in the building.
Agreed.
The 100 guys that are coming together to fight and compete, scratch and claw. And that's what I'm proud of. And crap, we're in a good spot. We got to go. We got a tough opponent this week in West Virginia who's playing well right now. Who's physical and tough and can establish the run. So I'm proud of how these guys are fighting and competing.
Has the rest of the league called you yet to figure out how to beat Texas Tech?
Man, I wouldn't call myself to figure out how to beat Texas Tech. Our players played phenomenal that game. That was a player one game, not a coaching one game.
Man, Jeff Sims has had some really good games. He set an Arizona State quarterback rushing record. a couple of weeks ago. Just the fact that he's still in the program and that he had, he's been to like 18 different schools, but Arizona State the longest. So what's he like as a person, and what are you most proud of when you think about him?
I mean, been to 3 schools, and obviously for him, this is the first time he's ever been in a system 2 years in a row. When he was at Georgia Tech all those years, different system. Transfers, different system. Comes here, new system. This is the first time in his career that this uber talented player gets to be in the same system 2 years in a row. Between that, he trusted the system. He wanted to be in it twice. He loves the people here. He loves the place here. I think that's why he chose to stay, was he needed to be in something multiple years, knowing that his opportunity would come. And for him to take his opportunity the first week that he got all the prep to go perform and perform the way he did, I'm just super proud of him, happy for him. He's an incredible person and an incredible kid. Like, he's just a great human being. And our team loves him. His teammates love him. So to see a kid like that, have the success he had after choosing to come back, choosing to be here, super, super fun to watch.
We're talking with Kenny Dillingham, the head football coach for Arizona State. As they sit at 6-3 on the season and very firmly in the picture for the Big 12 championship. Your tagline is "Activate the Valley." I'm curious, now that you're 3 years in, and with the success from last year, like, how much have you been able to quote unquote activate the Valley? What have you seen, from a substance standpoint to do that, both from a fans and then obviously from a recruiting standpoint?
Yeah, from a fan's perspective, our games have been all sold out the last 7 games. We're probably about to sell out this one. We'll sell out Arizona for sure to end the season. So we would have had a full sold out crowd all the entire season. Going back to last year, we had a sellout game to end it. The environment here, people are excited. We're talked about on sports radio all the time locally. We are very, very, very relevant right now. The Valley is activated. When it comes to, we got a long way to go when it comes to businesses and donor support. A long way to go. That's the piece that I haven't done a good enough job with. I haven't gotten those guys engaged enough here. So obviously, I got to do a better job there getting people, because of all the excitement. We're still way behind in this other category, drastically behind from where we need to be. And that's the part for me that I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong, because it's, a program that I'm building all facets of. There are no excuses. And then in terms of just the recruitment, people are fired up. We've got an unbelievable class. I love our class that we're bringing in. So people are excited to come and watch a sold-out crowd with guys who play hard, see guys get developed, and I think that's something people want to be a part of.
Kenny Dillingham, he's a football savant with a Red Bull heart here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. Coach, hey, you were telling us during the break that recruiting's going really well for you guys, and you mentioned that, you're looking at a lot of JUCO kids. Did that eligibility pass through that ruling where JUCO kids can play JUCO ball, go to an FBS school, have 4 years of eligibility? I mean, you may have really found like a really nice loophole in the recruiting pipelines for these JUCO kids.
Marketed efficiency, we'll call it.
Yeah, that hasn't gone through yet.
Okay.
We'll see if it goes through. To me, I like dudes who get it the hard way. I love the underdog story. I love the people who have to work and grind and fight and compete. And I think there's a lot of power in people that are hungry. I think it's powerful. I think people that just want it so bad. And I think a lot of times you get that in JUCO. And, you look at Cam, not junior college, but, a lower level coming up. I love those guys. Xavier Guillory, we had in our past. Maxie Hanachor was a JUCO kid starting at right tackle for us. Kyle Scott was a JUCO kid starting at right guard for us. I just love dudes who get it out the mud. And there's a lot of JUCO kids who got it out the mud, who love ball, that I want to be able to coach and give the opportunity to play.
Talking with Kenny Dillingham here, Kenny, and I'm curious for your thoughts kind of holistically on the Big 12. Last year you had such a successful year and came from nowhere, and feels like despite the injuries, you guys are still competing toward the top. Texas Tech is a different animal this year. Utah too. I mean, what What's the state of the conference overall, in your opinion?
Yeah, the conference is definitely better. I think the bar was raised in the conference. I think people realized what it takes to be successful in the current landscape of college football. And I think, some teams, some organizations, some donor bases have really stepped up and raised the bar for what it takes to be successful in the league. And I think you can see that. I think you can see that with some of these schools that you just mentioned, that they're really putting their best foot forward to compete for the championship and compete for championships. And yeah, I think the league is significantly better than it was last year. And the thing that's really cool about this league is, there are so many. Anybody can beat anybody any week, and that still hasn't changed. So even though the top kind of raised, the bottom, flew with it. And there are no weeks off right now in this league. There are no weeks off on our schedule. Every week is a challenge.
When we look at where the league has grown from last year to this year, we look at the line of scrimmage. So many teams have gotten so much better, Texas Tech and Utah and BYU, what they're doing at the line of scrimmage. You guys and your rushing defense has been much better. You've had so many more sacks and pressure on the quarterback this year. Is that what you see, or what would you pinpoint in terms of the league is better?
Yeah, 100%. The defensive lines in this league are really good. You look at Houston. I think Houston's defensive line is very underrated. One of the best we faced. Their nose guard is phenomenal. You've already mentioned the other schools that get talked about quite a bit. But you have that, and then you have quarterback play. We have a conference that has really good quarterback play. And if you're good in the D line and you have good quarterback play, you're probably going to win a lot of games. See the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So that's a really good recipe to win. And I think teams have recognized that, and teams are kind of chasing that. Good D-line play, stop the run, impact the passer, good quarterback play, be able to move the ball, score touchdowns. It's a simple game.
Last one for me, Coach, and you've always been super open and honest and transparent about injuries, maybe to a fault. I'm curious for your overall thoughts on how the first year of these injury reports have gone, and do we need more transparency and uniformity across all 16 Big 12 programs?
To be honest, I don't care. I want our guys to know. I know there's some competitive advantages by just being open and honest and transparent. Some competitive, disadvantages to not being open and honest and transparent is what I meant to say. I want our guys to know I believe in who's going to take the field, right? That I have enough belief in what we're doing, right? That we don't need to do other things. We're going to stay solely focused on us. And that doesn't mean it's the right way. I struggle to be dishonest. That's a flaw in me. People can see through it. If I filibuster, I just don't want to answer the question. But very, very, very hard for me to absolutely be dishonest. That's just not how I was raised. And then two, I want our guys to know we have full belief in them. I want, when Jeff knew he was going to start, I want him to know everybody knows Jeff's going to start. The opponent, our team, let's go dance, baby. Let's go put our best foot forward and go compete.
Kenny, you guys have the TNT game this weekend, right, against West Virginia?
We do.
Are they on campus? I mean, we've talked to the TNT team. We've had them on our show to talk about everything they do behind the scenes, and they ask for a lot of access, and usually they get it. So is this like real world Kenny Dillingham? They just following you around with a camera crew all week?
They're actually at West Virginia this week before they come out here. And me, not really. I can do the media stuff, and that's great because that's what's needed to brand yourself in college football.
Yeah.
I really want this program to be about our players. Unfortunately, I have to be the focal point at times that people can rally behind because that's college football. Players come and go, coaches stay, for the most part.
Right.
Unfortunately, but coaches stay, especially that want to be somewhere, and this is a player-run program. This is not Kenny Dillingham's program. This is Jordan Tyson, Xavier Alford, Keyshawn Elliott, CJ Fight, Keith Abney, Jordan Crook. It's their program. If those guys show up on campus, I want them to focus on them. because it's not about me, it's about them. So they're not here, they do a great job, but if they were, I wouldn't want it to be about me. I want it to be about the guys who actually, make this thing go.
How's your son? Is he 2 now?
3.5.
3.5.
That's how far it's been, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that means you're 57. But,
He dresses like it, but he's not.
but no, he's 3.5. He's running around. He's catching the ball. He's coming out to practice. He gets to go to every game with his cousins, his 3 cousins, and both his sets of grandparents.
It's amazing.
So I would say he's extremely spoiled. Eventually, we're going to have to start taking things away from him because he's pretty spoiled right now.
Man, I love your background. You got the Bo Nix jersey. Is that the stadium right behind you?
That's not the stadium. It's a reflection, to be honest, of the photo of Pat Tillman.
Okay. It's a reflection of Pat Tillman with the stadium backdrop.
Oh, yeah.
With the stadium in the background. That's right.
Dude, that's cool.
That's cool.
And then there's a TV reflection in the background. I flipped my office around. It's set up completely backwards of how it should be. I don't like not being able to see my door, so now I can see my door before. I have a phobia of who's walking in.
Totally.
So I have to be able to see my door. So my office makes no sense. My wife hates it, but I can see the door, so I feel better.
Totally agree with you on that one, by the way.
Well,
you need to see the door. Don't want to have your back to the door.
The way you run your program, the way you call plays, that does make sense. We appreciate your time, Coach. Man, you're always so generous, and thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Go Devils.
All right.
Best.
Kenny Dillingham, head coach, Arizona State, here on Big 12 Today on Big 12 Radio. We'll react to that conversation coming up next. Also streaming live on Big 12 Studios. This is the Big 12 Conference, and we are brought to you, the full-time fan, by our friends at Modelo.